What's up, YouTube? Christo here. Got another video for you. Basically, I'm just going to go through a bunch of samples and decants I've got. Just do something a little bit different. I'm pretty bored with reviewing and just doing seasonal stuff. And I've not actually done a kind of video like this before, so be something different, something new for the channel. Now, you can see, obviously, I've got a little different view here. Just going to be temporary for this video and the one I did before, my little haul. And then when I get back onto my reviews and whatever, everything else, I'll move downstairs. Just this way, at least, you have a little bit something to look at. It's not going to be a very exciting, action-packed video. Not that my videos usually are, though. But at least you can see a little bit, you know, of my samples and stuff I'm showing. So, there's not really going to be much of an order. I've kind of got an order worked out. It makes sense to me. I'm not even going to bother getting into it. Basically, just some samples I've gotten. Just want to talk about, give my opinion, get your input and stuff. First two I got locally, which, if you knew what the perfume market was like in Hamilton, that would be interesting, where I live. Because it is pretty much a wasteland here. These are from the local Sephora, which is kind of like a crappy Sephora, which is just crappy in general. They have a few lines that are okay, to be fair, but I'm not really... I don't get excited about going into Sephora to sniff perfume. This is from the Replica line, By the Fireplace and Lipstick On. I actually have to say I so far like both of these. By the Fireplace, I would say I like quite a bit more. The house, I don't know, it's gimmicky in that they're trying to replicate, you know, different smells or different memories and stuff like that. I don't know, I've kind of got a beef with the packaging. The packaging is really cheap looking, and they're definitely not cheap. They're over $120. I think they're like $125 or $130. And I don't know, for the most part, I don't really see the quality being there to justify that price, except for these two, and these, I believe, are two of the newest or newer releases from the house. I kind of went through everything before, wasn't really impressed. I think it's called Jazz Club. Was getting quite a lot of attention, didn't really do anything for me. I tried to like at the barber shop, but it just turned into like smelling like basil soap or basil water or something, and ugh, can't stand basil notes. But so far quite like these. By the Fireplace, I think, is pretty solid. It's very dry, charred fragrance, as you can tell. I think it would sound better as By the Campfire, actually, but kind of like a more raw, outdoorsy kind of burn, rather than like kind of a serene fireplace, but that's just me. A house I'm actually very familiar with, and like quite a lot. These are two of the higher-end fragrances from the line of MFK, Maison Francis Kurkdjian, Silk Mood and Satin Mood. Silk I had tried numerous times. This is one of the original three, or I guess from the Mood, because they did the Oud, and then they did the 3 moods, and then they released the 4th mood, Satin, and wow, this one I like a lot. Wow, this is so good. Very expensive. No way I would pay, I think it's almost $500 or something after tax. This one's very nice. I find this very wearable. As much as I like a lot of the moods, actually Silk I think is more palatable than the other two. Cashmere and I can't remember, the name escapes me now, but they're very barnyardy, very fecal. Really good line so far. I quite like the moods. The first Oud I wasn't big on. I found it just to be kind of boring and sweet, very overpriced, but I'm definitely liking the mood line a lot. Next one, I got to give a big shout out to Victor from Zoologist. Met up a couple months ago, and he hooked me up with some samples from his line. I had tried most of them before, not in great depth, but definitely was really interested in them, you know, because I love perfume and I'm, you know, all about supporting the indie scene, but also because he's from Toronto, which is just about an hour up the road, which is really cool. So far, definitely my favorites are Rhinoceros and Bat. Bat is huge. It's very, very popular, you know, for the indie world. He actually won a very prestigious award for Bat, which is really great. Really interesting scents. The other three, I have to admit, I've not spent much time with. Panda, Hummingbird, and Beaver. Definitely will be testing them once I kind of have gone through all my new stuff and I'm going to go back and revisit. Another house I mentioned not too long ago in one of my videos, Memo. I've got Moon Fever, African Leather, Janot, Lalabella, and actually kind of funny, I asked for a sample of Shams Oud. Shams is, I think, by far my favorite from the house. It's actually a decent price. I can't say it's a great price, but a lot of these memos are outrageously expensive, and I just don't think the quality's there to justify the price that they're asking. Some of them do smell pretty amateurish. But yeah, so I asked for a sample of Shams, and the woman went to check if they had one. She said they didn't, and she ended up coming back with this big, enormous, what do they call it? Discovery, Memo Discovery Voyage. It's only 4 samples, but a massive box. I have not opened it yet. Honestly, nothing in here really interests me that much. This includes Italian leather, Irish leather, French leather, African leather. I don't like French leather and I don't like African leather. So I'm just going to keep it closed, maybe use it and swap it, get something nice, because this is a pretty good box. So at the moment, not even going to open it. Really underwhelmed with the House of Memo in general. Shams Oud is pretty good, but unfortunately I didn't get a sample of it. Okay, where are they? They were all the way. A couple decants that I made. Actually, what we do now when I go sniffing with Eugene and Toronto, we just bring our own decants, and you know, if we buy something, we'll just say, hey, do you mind if we make up some samples? And so far everyone's like, yeah, go for it, that's fine. And ended up getting Sugi from Monocle Comme des Garçons series and Standard Artec. This stuff is amazing. I love it so much. Actually, both of them are exceptional. Standard is definitely better for summertime. Sugi definitely going to be more autumnal, but both of them are definitely very high in my to-buy list. I love them both, and very, very good prices on them, which is just another reason I love Comme des Garçons. And I saved all my Guerlain for last. I've got a lot of these, so I'm going to do them really quickly. This is actually a really nice official sample of Encens Mythique. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling the scent too much. It's very minimal, very airy, transparent, flinty. I just get very little longevity out of it, very little projection out of it. It smells good, but it's just so minimal. It almost feels like I'm not even wearing anything after just a couple minutes, but I know it's there. It's oil-based, very heavily concentrated. I'll talk about that kind of in a minute with another one. Tal Royale, Guerlain. These are all going to be Guerlain from here. This got a lot of hate when it was released a little over a year ago, I think. A lot of the kind of very loyal Guerlain fans did not like this at all. They didn't like the kind of dry woods that it does. I think it's amazing. I loved it from the first sniff, and I just love it more and more. I'd really like to pick up a bottle of this as well. Songe, the infamous Songe. This is the oil-based one that I was mentioning. Serge, the projection longevity on this is amazing. It's really interesting because the opening is very, very sweet, to the point where I don't even like it. And then it dries down and it gets quite dirty, barnyardish, very dry, woody, very interesting fragrance. But my favorite from the line, I know there's only 3, but it is by far my favorite. Anacree, Rose du Desert Anacree. Again, the first time I tried this, I was just so blown away by it. It does have kind of a barbecued meat smell to it, or just like burnt wood or burnt meat. It's got a lot of rose, patchouli. Very, very interesting concoction. I love this. It is quite expensive. But, wow, this is amazing. This is like what I love about the perfume world. Just supremely high quality, very unique, very original. I totally am in love with Anacree. Okay, speed this up here. Okay, there's another little atomizer with Encens Mythique. Oh, forgot about that one. I do have another one. I'll save that for last. Ooh, wow, Derby. This will definitely be my next high-end bottle. There's going to be a little sale on it, Guerlain, coming up soon, for like kind of volume discount. I love this. I absolutely love this to death. It's probably my favorite masculine fragrance, like kind of classic masculine ever. Shemagh Parfum. This stuff has recently been announced as being discontinued, and it is flying off the shelves in the Guerlain boutique in Toronto. They're even sending them to the United States. This is another fragrance that just blew me away the first time I tried it. I could not even believe it. I've still never even smelled anything like this. It's just like black rose in the opening. I even get like a strange like teriyaki vibe from it. As weird as that sounds, like kind of soy sauce or teriyaki sauce in the opening. Kind of a black-green scent. Amazing. Such a shame that this has been discontinued. It's very, very expensive though. But amazing presentation, excellent fragrance. Shemagh Parfum. This one, it's amazing, but it's just too powdery for me. I wear this to a concert in Toronto about a month ago, and the powder was just killing me by the end. Very green, floral, powdery scent. Amazing, but just not for me. On the other hand, though, Lura Parfum, this is amazing. I love this. This is another one that blew me away. I didn't even really bother trying it until quite recently. I do like Lura, but I never even, the EDT, at least, and I never really even thought much about trying the Parfum, and then, yeah, tried it, and it just stunned me, blew me away. I love it, but again, it's really expensive. Just can't justify spending that much for such a small bottle, but never know. Last one. I really loved this the first time I tried it. Even the second time I tried it, and now I'm just totally off it. This is Rose Barbar. I tried it in Singapore about 3 years ago and just like went bonkers for it. Got to try it again about a year ago at the boutique and loved it. They gave me a sample, not even this one, another sample, and it really put me off. I wasn't feeling it at all. And I've worn it a couple times since then, and I can't get into it. I'm not enjoying it. It comes off as very cologne-y, like the cologne note that I don't like. I find kind of cheap smelling. I get lots and lots of that in there, unfortunately. And there's actually one more. This one is pretty cool. This is Serge Lutens Canabalt, from the exclusive line that is like $800 for a 50ml bottle here in Canada. I think it's about $500 or $600 in the United States. This is just like pure dry resinous amber. Reminds me a little bit of Mitza from Dior, but obviously just cranked right out. This is like thick, dark purple juice. This is amazing, but there's just no way I could ever justify $800 for a 50ml fragrance, but this stuff is pretty awesome. By far my favorite from the line that I've tried so far, which I think is everything. But yeah, excellent scent here. I love this, totally love it. So that's pretty much it. Those are my samples. A lot of them I've been wearing. Yeah, let me know what you think. If you've tried them, if you got some input, let me know some others from these houses that you would recommend checking out. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you again soon.